Are you over 50 and looking for the ideal way to keep your feet healthy throughout the rest of your life? If you are, then this video is going to show you exactly what you need to do. Hi everybody, my name is Will Harlow and I'm the Over-50's specialist physio here at HT Physio in Farnham. And today I'm going to give you 3 tips to keep your feet healthy for the rest of your life. Now, before we dive into the content of the video, if you haven't already, please like this video and hit subscribe to the channel using the link in the bottom right, because then you'll be the first to hear about our new videos when they come out, and we've got loads of good stuff in store. Now that that's been said, let's talk about the foot and why on earth am I making a video about healthy feet? Well, the reason I'm making a video about healthy feet is because they're such an important part of the body for just about everything that we do. So your feet are obviously the contact point between your body and the ground. We walk on our feet every single day. Most of us do somewhere between 3,000 and 10,000 steps every day. And if that contact point between your foot and the ground is not working very well, then you're going to get problems not just in the feet, but coming up the chain. So a bad foot posture and dodgy feet can cause ankle problems, knee problems, hip problems, lower back problems. It can be a risk factor for injuries like sciatica and disc problems as well. So all in all, it's very, very important that we keep healthy feet. And the good news is there are a couple of very simple tricks that you can put into place today to improve the health of your feet for the rest of your life. So let's have a look at these 3 simple tips. You can have a go at them at home if it's safe for you to do so, and look forward to healthy feet for the rest of your days. So the first tip I've got for you if you want to maintain the health of your feet is to keep your calves flexible. Now you might be thinking, well, what has the calf got to do with the foot? Obviously, surely the exercises you're going to give us are just foot exercises. And the problem with this approach is that we're taking a very specific approach to the body when really we should be thinking more holistically. And the calves, these muscles here at the back of the leg, are very, very important to good health of the foot. And the reason is that the calves, they come down to the back of the leg and they attach to your heel bone via the Achilles. So you can feel the Achilles tendon here just above your heel. And if your calf becomes tight, which it does for many, many people, it's going to tug up on the bone at the back of the heel. Now, having a tight calf is a risk factor for lots of different conditions that affect not just the foot, but other areas of the body as well. So one of the conditions is Achilles tendinopathy. So you might have heard of it called Achilles tendonitis before. Having tight calves makes that more likely. It also makes problems like plantar fasciitis more likely as well, which is a super common problem, one that's very unpleasant, and it can affect people for a long time. It's best avoided rather than treated once you've already got it. So the reason it can cause these problems is because when the Achilles is pulling up on the heel bone, it changes the entire mechanics of your foot as well. You can think of your heel bone almost like the end of a seesaw, so that at some times it's being pulled up and other times it's being pulled underneath, depending on what's tight and what's strong. Okay, so if you've got a strong, tight calf, it's always going to be pulling up. If you've got a tight plantar fascia, which is the tissue underneath the foot, it's going to be pulled down. So we're going to look at the tight calf aspect now. So to prevent a tight calf, it's actually very simple. You just need one stretch, and I'm going to show you what that is now. So to prevent a tight calf, all you need to do is find something to lean on. Typically a wall works quite well. And what you're going to do is you're going to put the leg to be stretched out behind you. So you're going to have both feet on the floor. Both feet are pointing in the same direction, and you want your heel of the back leg down. You're going to keep the back leg straight, and as you do so, you're going to bend the front knee, bringing your body weight forward and feeling a stretch coming down your calf on that side. And once you've got that stretch, all you're going to do is hold it for 30 seconds. You don't need to keep it moving, you just need to hold it there and do a minimum of 30 seconds because that gives you a permanent improvement in flexibility. And try and do that a couple of times every day on both sides. Now, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to show you an exercise that's going to reduce the tightness, not in the calf, but in the plantar fascia, which is this area here. And for many people, this plantar fascia becomes tight just through walking and use and just through the course of daily life. If you have a tight calf, that can also cause the plantar fascia to feel tight because it pulls the heel this way. And if you have a tight plantar fascia, it can affect the structure and the function of your foot. So it's not actually a great thing to have. Now you can tell if you've got a tight plantar fascia because if you use your hands and you feel around this area here, if it feels tender and painful and a bit tight when you press, then that is a good indicator that it's quite tight. And reducing it can have a positive effect on your foot health, your ankle health, and even have knock-on effects to your knee and your back as well. So to reduce the tightness, we're going to use either a squash ball like this one or a golf ball if you're feeling a bit braver, because obviously a golf ball is harder. And we're just going to place this ball on the floor like this. And then what you're going to do is you're going to put the area underneath your arch on the ball, and you're going to use this from a sitting position to roll around on your foot. Now, if you're just starting with this, it's probably best to use a squash ball because this is quite soft. But if you don't find that you can get to a point where it starts to be a little bit, jabby, then you might want something harder like a golf ball. But again, that does cause quite a bit of discomfort sometimes. Now, discomfort doing this is actually quite normal. What we're looking for is the tight spots, and we're just going to focus the ball on a tight spot to try and work it out. And if you can see here on the video, the area I'm focusing on is behind this bone here and in front of the heel bone here. So it's this section here. What we don't want to do is we don't want to target it over the bone, so not on the ball of the foot and not on the heel, especially if you've got plantar fasciitis, because if you rub directly over the pain here, that will make it worse. So we're targeting this soft area here. And you can use the ball on this area, rolling it around for probably about 3 to 5 minutes a day, and it will have a really good impact on the health of your foot over time. Now, the final recommendation I have for you today to improve the health of your foot is not an exercise to stretch or to mobilize, but it's an exercise to improve the strength of your foot. You might be thinking, well, how on earth can you get a strong foot? We don't have many muscles there. And that would actually be wrong. We've got lots of muscles in our feet. You've got over 20 muscles that make up the function of the foot. And these are the muscles that control the movement of your toes. They can help you lift your arch like this. They can help you tilt this way. They can help you lift your toes up, spread them out. You've got separate muscles that control your big toe. So we have lots of things going on down in the foot. But the problem is most people end up with quite weak, lazy foot muscles because of the shoes we wear. Okay, so there is an argument in some circles for walking around barefoot, but we won't go into the mechanics of why that's a bad idea for most people now. So let's say you want to improve the strength of your foot. There's a very simple and effective way to do so. All you need for it is a towel that you can lay down on the floor at home. And I folded this towel over double. Now, once you've got your towel down, the exercise is very, very simple. All you're going to do is use your toes to try and grab the towel and drag it towards you. And what we're doing is we're keeping our heel on the floor. You can see I'm not lifting my foot. I'm just using the power in my toes, the scrunching power, to pick the towel up and drag it towards me. And what you should feel after a few repetitions is an achiness underneath the foot, especially in the arch, because that's where many of the foot muscles live. And what we're doing is we're strengthening the integrity of the foot. We're improving our control over the toes, which helps us spread our weight better throughout our foot when we walk. And to make this exercise work, you don't need to do a ton of these. You can see I've pulled the towel in towards me, and I can do that quite effectively in about sort of 10 or 15 repetitions. And then after that, I've got a bit of an ache here. So I'd take a rest for a minute, and then I would lay the towel back out again and repeat the process. So I would recommend spending a few minutes per day on each of these little exercises. They really help with the function and the health of your foot. If you've had foot and ankle problems in the past, this is a great place for most people to start to maintain and improve the health of their feet. So those are the 3 simple tips I've got for you for maintaining the health of your feet. In addition to what we've talked about today, the other things that you should be able to do that will help your foot health is to choose well-fitting footwear. So definitely don't want to have any shoes that are too tight or too loose, and make sure they fit well. When you're walking, you should have supportive footwear, so ones that have either a cushioned sole or a very nice support structure around the foot and the ankle as well. Typically, walking boots and trainers are pretty good for that. If you're a runner, you should change your running trainers at least once a year. Do not use the same running shoes if you're running 3 times a week for longer than a year, because they start to wear out in all of the places that you need the support. And other than that, make sure you keep your skin in the feet in good health, especially if you have problems like diabetes. And also make sure that you keep your toenails in good health as well. I recommend seeing a podiatrist regularly, especially if you can't reach down to your feet yourself. So that's all I've got for you today. There's more tips like this in my book called Thriving Beyond 50. It's got a whole segment in there about healthy feet. So you can pick up a copy of that using the link below this video. And that's all I've got for you today. If you've enjoyed the video, please leave me a comment in the section below. And I look forward to speaking to you on the next one.